Hello, my name is Kimberly Ying, and I'm a PhD student at the University of Florida. Today, I'll be presenting my CSCW paper titled Understanding Women's Remote Collaborative Programming Experiences, the Relationship Between Dialogue Features and Reported Perceptions. Hello, my name is Kimberly Ying, and there are two main pieces of background info that motivate this work. The first is that remote collaboration is becoming increasingly common, and even more so now with people working from home due to the current pandemic. And the second is that women have been historically marginalized in computer science in many contexts throughout the world. One specific example is shown here. In the US and Canada, just 21% of bachelor's degrees in CS were earned by women in 2018. Hello, my name is Kimberly. So in this context of remote collaboration in computer science, how are people's experiences and perceptions influenced by structured roles, different by gender, and related to dialogue features? That's what we explore in our study. Hello, my name is Kimberly Ying, and 58 participants worked remotely in pairs on a programming problem for an hour. They used a programming application that allowed them to collaboratively code in real time, similar to how Google Docs allows users to collaboratively write a document. They communicated using textual chat, which was embedded in the programming application. The structured roles condition had 16 pairs, and the unstructured roles condition had 13 pairs. In the structured roles condition, participants followed a collaboration paradigm known as pair programming, with the collaborators having the role of driver or navigator and switching every 15 minutes. Those in the unstructured roles condition had no predefined roles to follow, and there was no announcement every 15 minutes. We measured learning gain through pre- and post-tests and collected post-survey responses using the validated Intrinsic Motivation Inventory and the system usability scale. We found no significant differences between condition, but there were significant gender differences regardless of condition. Hello, my name is Kimberly Ying. From these results, we can see that women had a very different experience from men. They felt less competent, although there were no significant differences in their pretest scores or their reported prior experience. They were more stressed, and they felt less choice. For the remainder of the talk, we refer to these survey items as competence, attention, relaxation, and choice. To gain a deeper understanding of women's experiences, we investigated their dialogue features. After performing principal component analysis, we finalized 6 features for modeling. The first 3 refer to the woman's sent messages, and the last 3 refer to the messages she received from her partner. We used ordinal logistic regression to model women's experiences with respect to their dialogue features for each of the 4 significant survey responses, and 3 of these 4 models were significant. And these 5 dialogue features had significant correlations with women's experiences. Specifically, number of messages sent was positively correlated with relaxation and competence. The average words per message was positively correlated with competence and choice. The number of messages received from the partner was negatively correlated with competence and choice. The average words per message from the partner was positively correlated with relaxation. And the partner's sentiment was positively correlated with women's relaxation, competence, and choice. Women reported significantly higher levels of stress, lower levels of perceived competence, and less perceived choice compared to men. We found that dialogue features can provide a window into women's experiences, potentially allowing for early detection of stress and other outcomes. It's important to remember that our work here shows correlations between dialogue features and women's experiences, but it does not imply causation. Additionally, our analysis uses summative dialogue features such as total message frequency and average sentiment value for the entire conversation. Future work is needed to understand whether there are causal relationships between these dialogue features and women's experiences. We also need to understand how these dialogue features may change over time during a collaboration. This work leaves us with questions like, can we improve women's experiences by encouraging behaviors associated with positive outcomes and discouraging behaviors associated with negative outcomes? Does fostering the expression of positive sentiment toward the task have a positive impact on women's experiences during collaborative programming? That concludes my talk. I would like to acknowledge NSF for funding this research and thank the members of the Learn Dialogue group for all their help. Thank you for listening.